Well, thank you for joining me today. You might have to talk into the mic a little bit, but that's okay. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. No, thanks for coming out.
No, of course. It's not every day you get to talk to a ever fluctuating top 10 team in the nation and one of the most prestigious schools in the world. So let's start with how you got to Harvard, because this is not an easy place to get to.
Yeah, growing up, at first I wasn't the highest, ranked recruit, but I'm from Needham, Mass, so not too far from here, and I've always grew up, obviously close to home, like Harvard's a dream.
Yeah.
And then, once I got older and started winning more matches, obviously got the eyes of Coach Rube, and through recruiting, I obviously, Harvard's a great school. I want to, obviously a dream school, but also like the coach and Coach Rube, Coach Sunham, and the team at the time, I thought was the best fit, and I love those guys, and I'm grateful that I ended up here.
So what stood out to you from Coach Rube? What did he sell you on? I know today's video is sponsored by the Universal Tennis Power Subscription Service, which allows you to see every decimal of someone's UTR rating when you're playing them to get a better understanding of where they are in terms of level. The Power Subscription is not just for looking at numbers, it's also for great discounts on amazing companies like Fabletics, like Tennis Warehouse, and many other companies. Now, you can check them out using the link in the description below. Hometown kid, Harvard is Harvard. So what was the defining point for you of choosing Harvard over the other schools that you were considering?
Yeah, I thought, during recruiting, I think I connected with Coach Rube really well. I love his personality. He's always looking at the positive side of things, and I think that really emulates in his practices and the way he runs his team. And seeing that on my recruiting visit, I kind of envisioned myself in this environment, and this was an environment where I think that I could grow the best. And I think that it's definitely paid off over the years, and I'm grateful to be playing for the school and for the coaches.
What has Coach Rube taught you so far here at Harvard, not just as a coach on the tennis court, but as kind of a human being?
Yeah, I think the life lessons you learn on this team are invaluable. I think a lot growing up in tennis, like juniors, is like you're always playing for yourself. And I think what's the number one lesson I've learned being on this team and playing under like Coach Rube and Coach Sunham has been, you're part of something bigger than that. And in life you're going to be working on teams, and you kind of just learn, how to work with other people. Obviously there are challenges, and you go through, ups and downs of the team, and how you're able to kind of go through the situations. I think that's definitely been a huge life lesson that I'm super grateful for.
What's a Rubenism, I would like to call it? What's like something that he always says to you, or something to the team that has stuck with you, or is always fun to point out when he says it?
Yeah, I think he brings a good, funny energy kind of every day. Like, he loves to crack jokes. He loves to make the guys laugh. I can't get one on the top of my head, but he loves, having that environment where it's like, you can goof around and have fun, but then when the time comes, like, it's all serious, and you put in the work. So I think that's a great combination.
So for you as a player on court, what would you say is your personality on the court? Do you have to be pumped up all the time, or is it a balance?
I think I enjoy the energy of college tennis. I love playing with energy. I love to get pumped up. I think in some situations, yes. Sometimes maybe I need to be a little bit more mellow, but I love playing with energy. I try to play big games, so I think the more energy I get, I feel like the more it kind of emulates my game style.
I love that. And for you too, who did you look up to when you first started getting into tennis or started taking it more seriously? Who was your idol in that sense, or who inspired you?
Yeah, you grow up in this era, and you have, obviously like Joker, Rafa, Roger. Those three guys, they just know how to win matches. I love Roger's offensive style growing up. The way he was able to crack the ball. And then as I got older, I think, Rafa's fighting spirit. I think a lot of matches come down to kind of who has the bigger heart, and he just I mean, he finds a way to do it. So I think, yeah, I mean, the big three era growing up, I think it's very awesome to grow up in that era.
Who's your GOAT?
My GOAT?
Your GOAT.
I think all the stats point to Novak. I mean,
okay, but that's stats. That's not.
I think the coolest style of play to watch is Roger. I mean, he's so elegant. But I think like in terms of like what them three have accomplished, it's Novak, and he's still gonna keep winning. So
That's fair. So who do you think will take over right now on the tour?
Yeah, I mean, Carlos has been winning.
Okay.
Yonex has been winning. I think. Yeah, I mean, also American tennis right now is thriving. You know, Ben Shelton, who you know, is a friend of mine. He's been doing real well. It's been awesome to follow him keep winning. So hoping maybe he can do some big things.
Well, 14 in the world right now.
Yeah.
Highest ranked American, the biggest serve I think tennis has seen in a very long time. That doesn't come from a guy that's over 6'10", which is great. So if you were to take yourself and build the perfect tennis player, how would you build them?
Out of pros?
Out of pros, or just anyone. Actually, let's make this more interesting. From your teammates.
Build my teammates. The perfect Harvard tennis player.
The perfect Harvard tennis player. Take an attribute.
All right. I'll go with my own serve. We'll start with that.
That's fair. Got to get you out of the way first.
We'll go with, Coop's backhand.
Okay.
Melchior's backhand slice.
Okay. We're going specific. I like this.
Yeah. Ooh. We'll go with Ronan's forehand.
Okay. Does anyone have a forehand slice that stands out?
Henry. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll go with Henry.
That was easy, yeah.
Okay.
He knifes that thing. He's got some, you got to see it. I mean, it's like complete the other way.
Hopefully I'll see it tomorrow when you guys play Princeton.
And then, I mean, volleys, I'd go with myself, but.
Oh, you're picking yourself twice.
We won't go twice.
Okay, fair.
I'll put David Lynn's as the hands.
Respect.
Yeah.
And then overhead.
Overhead? Overhead. We'll go, why don't we go someone new?
Okay.
Let's go with.
You! Please subscribe. Thanks.
Let's go James McDonald.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So if we were to change one rule in tennis for you, pro or college, what do you think you would change personally?
Yeah, I think maybe like pros, I think the viewers, maybe like a kind of a more college atmosphere. I think people come to all these college matches, they're like, oh my God, like this is not what I expected. Like it's so much more rowdy. I think maybe getting some of that in pro tennis.
Yeah.
Maybe allowing like the whole like country club, like old school, like clapping. Maybe there's kind of another level of that where the viewers and the fans can get involved. Okay.
And do you think taking a college environment, because I feel like there's traditionalists and now the newer style of thinking and cheering on, what would be like the best tournament to try that out?
In the pros?
Yeah.
Probably US Open.
Open, right?
I mean, all the lights are there, like the energy. But might as well start big, right?
Is that your favorite tournament? If you could play any pro tournament on tour, would that be the one?
Being an American, yeah, probably. Yeah. I think Wimbledon definitely has that kind of that honor to play as well.
Did you have the chance to play any of the junior slams?
No, unfortunately not. Yeah, I started ITFs a little late and never got high enough.
So when you say you started ITFs late, what made you decide late, or what was that transition like? Because I feel like at a certain age you have to commit either when you're 12 or you're kind of already out and at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like when I was a freshman in high school, I was like, I don't know, like 200 on tennis recruiting. Like I wasn't exactly the highest ranked player.
Okay.
And then it took me some time to kind of go through the ranks, and I obviously started at USTA, first playing here in New England, made my way into the national scene.
Okay.
It took some time. and then started moving matches there. And then eventually, when I started doing well, it was kind of, go play some ITFs. And then the last year I traveled a little bit more. So yeah.
Okay. And for you, what's the biggest goal for you, team-wise, for Harvard this year?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of heading to the end of the season here. We got a big match against Princeton tomorrow, so I think the short-term goal is obviously take a share of the Ivy title, and then hopefully if we do that, and once we're done, we'll go into and try to make a big run at the tournament. So that's kind of our goal. And last year we made the Sweet 16, so hopefully we can beat that this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course,
that was perfect.